everybody, and welcome to episode 33 of the Unwrapped Leader Podcast, where we get raw, real, and relevant in the new network marketing and helping you become a gifted leader in your business. For today's episode, we have a special guest coming on all the way from the UK. Her name is Helen Thacker, and she is an entrepreneur, network marketing pro, and business coach to the industry. She has been a solo entrepreneur for 15 years, building six-figure businesses both inside and outside of the corporate world. She's been full-time in the network industry since March of 2019, hitting six figures within just 7 months of starting out. Helen is the host of the Millionaire Mindset Woman podcast, and we are so excited for you to see this episode and how her magic ingredient is standing out online as her authentic self. So without further ado, let's jump into the episode. Okay, so welcome, Helen, to the podcast. We are so excited to have you here and for you to just pour into our audience. So I do want to just say a little bit. I want to get Helen to actually introduce herself and share her story, but I just want to quickly say, right now, we are in 3 completely different time zones. So I'm over here in Canada. It is currently 1:30 in the morning.
And I'm in Australia, and it is 6:30 in the evening.
Yeah, and I'm here right in the middle, in between you two, here in the UK, and it's 8:30 a.m. So I just love this. Isn't it cool?
That's funny. And I was telling Dracy too, even though 1:30 in the morning seems a little wild, and I was like, we gave her a few different times. One kind of screwed over Dracy and one kind of screwed over me. And, you know, she ended up picking up the 1 a.m. time for me. You know what? At the end of the day, me and Dracy were talking about this. We're like, this is actually my prime time. We are messaging during my 1 in the morning or her 1 in the morning often, and we're coming up with all of our best ideas. So the only difference, if we wouldn't have been podcasting now, is I probably would have been in my pajamas messaging Dracy anyways. So we are definitely a, very different bunch from where we come from. And I'm really happy that we were able to come together and, just serve you guys with all this great information and conversation that we're going to have today. So we actually came together. I quickly want to share that, we came together actually through social media. And I think that just shows the power of networking and how people can come together and the amazing things that we can do and discuss. And it was actually Helen's virtual assistant that reached out to us and said that, you were kind of noticing our podcast and our profile and that it would be cool if we could do some kind of collaboration. So we kind of discussed, went back and forth, and we decided, we have a really similar vision. When I first looked, Helen, when I went to your profile and I saw, we were using the same language. We had that same vision. It's almost like we were doing the same thing, but we didn't even know. And so when we noticed that, we're like, we need to have her on the podcast. This is going to be such a huge benefit to our audience. And, we wanted to bring that to you guys. So, with that being said, Helen, welcome to the podcast. We want to know more about you, who you are, who you serve, and just share a bit about your story of how you even got started in the network marketing industry and how it's brought you to where you are right now.
Oh, thank you so much. This is so great to connect. Like you just said, we have such the same vision for our audience and how we serve and how we help and support people to be successful. So it is amazing. And I'm so glad we connected. But thank you for that. So yeah, I've been an entrepreneur for 19 years. And I realized last year that I really have quite a lot of business skills and knowledge to share. So I made a bit of a transition last year into coaching. And this is what I really focus on now. So it is my drive is all about helping women to be the person that they were absolutely destined to be. Like, the little girl that grew up thinking, I'm going to be somebody someday. I know deep down that I am destined to do good things, and helping women to kind of really come out of their shell and find that through business. And being completely unapologetic about wanting to go out there and be successful, to make money, to make a difference, and all those things. I think it's something that is not talked about enough. So I'm really driven by that. But really, as a coach, all my coaching, like my one-to-one coaching, my group programs, all my mentorship is all to do with helping people to really grow and nurture their audience through personal brand, really impactful, powerful content. And helping people to build communities and the importance of that. So in Facebook groups and email lists. But it's about finding your voice. It's about really putting yourself out there and attracting the right people to help grow your business. But apart from being like an entrepreneur for 19 years, I've had a few different businesses, 2 of which have hit 6-figure incomes. But I've been in network marketing full time for 4 years. So that is kind of dying down now, but I'm absolutely involved in the industry. I'm really, really passionate about it, really passionate about having some change in this industry, bringing a lot more integrity and a lot more realism into the industry, and honesty and openness. I really think that's important. But I love it. And from day one, you know, almost 4 years ago, I jumped in full time, saw the vision, saw what was possible, and just went for it. And I think it's an incredible industry when it's done well. It has an incredible opportunity for women to gain that self-worth, to do something that is so, you know, particularly for women, particularly for parents as well, to do something that works around family life. But it's, you know, the fact that you have this opportunity, for a lot of people, it's the first time to have their own business. You know, it opens that world to entrepreneurship, you know, to really kind of entrepreneurship, is that the right word? It's too many syllables in that one. But to give people an opportunity to have their own business for the first time, and it gives them a taste of that. And of course, we all know that along with that comes this huge amount of personal development. And I remember, you know, this is the thing that's really changed me. I'm a completely changed person. Even though I've come from a lot of business experience, it wasn't really until I joined this industry that I came out of my shell. I found my voice. And, you know, that is what I am so passionate about. But like I said, it has to be done in the right way. And I know you guys are very, very similar in the way you think about that. I know you're nodding away, but it's so true. I'd love to, you know, hear your backgrounds as well.
Well, first of all, I just have to highlight this voice that you do have, Helen. And like we said, and Teisha said, when we went and investigated more about you and what you stood for and your values and your vision and that voice, and we just like, oh my God, she's like a soul sister. You know, she's speaking the same language. You swear we've danced together and had a drink together, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And I just
one
think
day.
one day. And that's what's amazing. We're going to say that one day soon and make that happen. But this little girl you talk about, this brave little girl that we all once were, when we think about all of us when we were 5 years old, we were so brave, so confident, singing and dancing and doing most amazing things. We had no fear. And it's amazing over time that we lost that edge. We lost that confidence. We became more insecure, especially going into teenagers. And then we become women in our 20s. It's like, what do we want to do? What do we want to be? And where are we going to go and how are we going to get there? And this is where self-development and the network marketing industry has really given women a place to shine and show up and learn new things. And so myself, I am that woman that got in the industry when I was 24 years old as a single mom on social assistance. And now 30 years later, a mother of 4 and a grandmother of 4. But why I share this is because I had to make a decision. I have had a full-time career as a professional network marketer, helping other women be able to step up, unwrap their gifts, and become leaders, and be able to have part-time, full-time, and big-time incomes. And I thought, why, like, if I don't share this industry, how amazing it is and the difference in the gifts that it gives, I'm not being of service. I'm not doing what I'm called to do. And that's when I had the opportunity to meet this young, dynamic, like Teisha Dorianna, you know, 21 years old. It was like I saw me all over again. And she's saying yes to this opportunity. And so one of my missions is to say a true master is not how many followers they have, but how many masters they've created. And to see Teisha say yes to the opportunity, to be able to go out there and start developing her skills and being able to see that. That's why when we teamed up together as a mentor-mentee, all of a sudden I became the mentee, because this whole social media game, if I want to stay in the business and stay, you know, growing and showing up, I needed to show up online. And this is where Teisha now became my mentor. And so this is why we've teamed up together to be able to connect with fabulous women like yourself, Helen. And it's been an amazing journey. And that's how we gave birth to the Unwrapped Leader, right, Teisha?
Yeah, it's crazy, like how we've evolved. But like a little background on me. So I, like Dracy said, started when I was about 21, 21 years old, because I'm 26 now. So I celebrated 5 years just the other month. And I started off as that like insecure and shy girl. I was actually in university at the time. I had just graduated with my psychology degree. I was going into my education program, and that's when I was introduced to it. My mom had actually been in the network marketing industry for the same time as Dracy. And the fun fact is that Dracy and my mom were best friends growing up. They went to the same high school. We're all from the same hometown, but now Dracy has moved to Australia and I'm here in Canada. And that's how we really connected. Like, I used to be best friends with Dracy's daughter when they lived in Canada, and we always had that connection there. And my mom did the network marketing industry, but I never looked at it, I guess, as professional until Dracy kind of brought it to me, because my mom had done it. She did on the side, but she made great income with it. Like, she always talked about how it paid for, you know, like the school sports and the holidays and all that extra stuff. But you know, she also had her full-time job. And I know Dracy was the one where she was going and she was doing that, creating multi-million-dollar downlines and just like showing up and being amazing at what she does. And I mean, I've always looked at her, to be honest, and thought there's no chance I could ever be like that. But when I got introduced to the product that I did, I really liked it. And I, like I said, I was kind of shy at the time, but Dracy's the one who introduced it to me as a professional business. And that's when I decided to jump in. And like, it could be a long story, but honestly, I just have to say that it's completely changed the person that I was 5 years ago. It's really helped me come outside of my comfort zone. It's helped me have confidence in areas that I felt like I feared. And I say today to never doubt yourself, because the things that you fear the most may be the things that you were put on this earth to do. And that's how I feel about public speaking. That's how I feel about leading today. I actually, when Dracy first approached me about leadership, I was like, no, like, I'm not doing that. I didn't think it was for me, but it naturally happened because of how much passion I had for this. And when I was in school, I didn't feel that passion. I didn't feel that fulfillment. And it wasn't until I started getting to know this industry and what I could do and the impact I could make. And so when I jumped in, that's when everything just changed for me. And I ended up speaking at my very first year. I actually was named the number one recruiter in the company, the number 2 sales in the company. And I felt like I didn't even deserve it. I felt like, what am I even doing to deserve this? I got asked to speak on recruiting at my first company conference. I was terrified. I thought I was going to shit my pants. I was like, how can I even do this? But I said yes, because I'm like, I also live by, if you're given an opportunity and you don't know, if you don't know if you could do it, say yes and then figure it out later. So that's kind of what I rolled with. I did it in total fear. People are like, you overcame your fear, but I'm like, no, I did it in fear. And I just feel like I keep doing it and doing it and doing it in fear until it becomes easier. But, you know, that's just a little bit about how I got started. And now, like, you know, I still have my team today, and, you know, it's still a business that I absolutely love, but I also, my biggest passion lied in coaching and helping people and making an impact, and, you know, seeing those same people that were or are just like me, who just need that little push to start stepping up and standing out so they could truly go into that, you know, more confident and best version of themselves. And so that's when Dracy and I started coming together. We wrote our book. We actually didn't know it was a book at the time we were writing it. So we were coming together just to learn from each other. And Dracy used to be my upline. She went into corporate, you know, like a year after, I would say the timeline is, Dracy. I don't know if I have that wrong. Sorry. But anyways, we came together. We wrote this book. We came and we were just writing topics. We came up with like 12 topics that we felt, you know, let's just write on this and come together and see what we could do, like bounce ideas off each other. And as we were writing, we discovered halfway through, like, this is a book, like, this is something that, you know, has never really been shared before with this mentor-mentee relationship. And we would come together, and what she was writing and what I was writing, they were so in line with each other, and we didn't even know. And it was crazy how much they just, you know, like, stuck together. So we developed this book, and we decided to create a whole brand out of this. And so we started showing up online. We started podcasting, which we've been loving. You know, we love bringing on the guests. We love learning from other people. And now, you know, we came at the end of this past year, we launched our, you know, first few courses. We started doing coaching, and the rest is history. So it's just, you know, what the future holds for us now. But that's, you know, just a bit about me and like what me and Dracy, how we've come together, and just how we, you know, help business builders show up online authentically. And just like your message, Helen, like you share, is that we just want to help people show up online, be themselves, and gain that confidence in themselves that they can do it.
And Helen, just so this is what I see the common thread for us is we see the industry is changing. And in this industry changing, we need to make some changes. And so that was, I believe, what we really wanted to extract from you, because you've made these changes. We've thought together that, like, you got to learn some things. We put together things you need to learn and implement in the new network marketing. So would you like to share some of those things to our audience and share with your audience? Because I just think, this is really powerful stuff. And if people don't start making these changes, they're going to be going, not growing.
Yeah, I love that. Going, not growing. Yeah, there's a few different things. I think I would really love to encourage leaders to support their team members and the people that they have in network marketing to really look at other ways of making income. And this is one of the things I help people to do. So, if you're growing an incredible social media presence through strong personal branding and you're becoming known, and because of that, you are bringing in the right audience, the right eyes on your business, people you really can connect with, you have a really, really fantastic foundation there, really great platform to do all sorts of different things. So I help lots of my clients who are in network marketing or not to look at other ways of making income. So things like, digital courses like you guys are doing or I'm doing, coaching. And when I say coaching, I think that term gets bandied around quite a lot. Coaching is just a word for sharing your information, sharing your knowledge. So it could just be in something like an audio or a downloadable document. It doesn't have to be you sitting on a screen doing one-to-one intensive calls with, private clients. But there are lots and lots of ways that you can actually digitize your reputation and digitize your brand. So I really want to encourage leaders in network marketing to allow women to go out and look at other ways to make money, create multiple streams of income. This is the way the world is turning at the moment. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be encouraging women to have incredible success. I know when I have been in network marketing, a particular team before, I know it's something that my leaders were absolutely not encouraging me to do whatsoever. It was very much get your head down, spend all your time and spend all your money investing in this company, in this business. And, I will admit, even as a leader, a few years ago, I was following the lead of my upline and probably thinking the same things about people in my team. Like I was like panicking almost. And that comes from that place of scarcity of thinking, I don't want them to go out and invest in coaching outside of the company. But it's so important that people do. It's so important that we as leaders encourage women to be business women, no matter what. And network marketing can be one of those many different multiple streams of income. And when you do allow people to go and become incredible entrepreneurs, and it really raises your confidence, it gives you leadership skills, it gives you business skills, which can only serve to help your network marketing business. So I really want to encourage leaders to do that. But I think as well that in this economy, we really do need to be smart. And I often use the word business savvy because I use that term. They are my clients. They are my ideal clients. They're the people that I'm helping, business savvy women who want to just max out their potential on social media from what they can earn. And this is what I help people to do. So I think that's important. But when it comes to values, I don't know if this is what you meant, Dracy, but when it comes to kind of values as well, I really do want to change things in the industry. I think there's a couple of things, particularly, I think we need more integrity and we need more realism, because this comes from my own experience as well. And also hearing from, when I have one-to-one clients, I'm sitting down and I'm helping support them through things they're going through. I hear these things coming up time and time again. We definitely need more integrity, more honesty about what it takes. There's a lot of false positivity out there. You've got to just put the smile on your face and carry on and pretend everything's okay. I've definitely been, subject to that in the past. And this isn't me going, I want to kind of retaliate against things, or, I'm not feeling bitter in any way, but it's just the reality of it. And I think it's important to have these open conversations to say this does go on. And, we do need to have, that ability for women to speak about what it does take. And my core principle of everything I do is all about, I want women to enjoy this journey in network marketing. That's what it comes to. I had this light bulb moment a while ago thinking, yeah, why do, I was thinking, why do I really feel so passionate about integrity and honesty and realism and all of those things? Like, because this is a business, why do I feel that? And it was to do with the fact that I want women to enjoy their experience. No matter what you do, being an entrepreneur is hard work. It takes effort, it takes resilience, it takes grit. It takes you to get up in the morning. It takes, you guys are like crazy hours, particularly you, Teisha, you're in the middle of the night now. It takes those things. And, I think I want women to not quit this industry. The percentage is like ridiculous. Like 99% of people quit within the first year of joining a network marketing company. And it's hard work. It's a long road to the top. It takes time. One of the things that I want to do to help with that is encourage people to have multiple streams of income, so they are earning on their way to the top. There's no need for you to wait until you get to the top ranks to hit those 6 figures. And that's what I help women to do. But also just to enjoy this process and to really feel like they are loving what they're doing, being part of this amazing industry, because it is an amazing industry. And obviously, Dracy, well, you've both had incredible success. Dracy, you've been in this for a long time, and I'm sure you've seen lots and lots of changes and lots of ups and downs, and women, lots of people quitting. You've got to make it a place where people want to show up every day. Otherwise, they're not going to grow their business.
A word that pops out is the word love.
Yeah.
That to me is, if you don't love what you're doing, you're going to feel the struggles of getting up and showing up and doing this. And it really brings to, and this is Teisha and I, if it's not fun, we're not doing it. Like, we just got to have fun. And, it's the friendships, like this friendships that are being, look at, oh my God, Helen, we got a new friend that lives in London. And so now I, got a friend when I go to England, and I can call you up. But, the real thing is, those that I've invested in, that we become friends, that have been stuck in the business, grown in the business, left the business, we're still friends. And that has been just such joy on my heart, and flexibility. Like, this is why is I would not be here if it wasn't fun and it wasn't flexible, and I didn't get the freedom that I have of owning my own time. And so when you say ups and downs, it's kind of like pregnancy. For those of you that have had a baby and have been pregnant, there's a lot of pain along the way, but once you have that baby, you don't really remember it. So, like, I forget about those bad days because I remember the good days. They stand out to me, or the good people they stand in my heart. But if I really reflect, there's been some challenges, there's been some hard times. But because of the vision that I've had, and, and I'm always operating with integrity. And so I don't see that messy stuff around me, because I'm always so focused on my goal and other people's goals that I don't see the bad things kind of happening. Like, let's fall in love with the process. Let's, not focus on perfection. Let's have some fun. And I think that's really where it's come. But people have come and gone. And I think it's come down to what have their goals really been and how have they pushed through them. And most people come in the business for different reasons and expecting to get money, and they didn't come in for it. They, there's a process, and I think there's a system, and I think that's kind of the big thing in there more than anything.
I actually wrote down, so I smiled when you said it, as Helen was talking, I wrote falling in love with the process. And that's the one thing that I'm always telling my team about, the people who want to get into leadership and want to create that sustainable income. It's like, you need to be in love with this process, not be set on an end result, but be in love with the process. Because even if you hit that result or that, that end goal, it continues. Like, you don't just stop there. It keeps going, and you have to absolutely love it. You have to have a passion for it. And where I was at when I was introduced to it was, when I actually went into school for education, I kind of made the decision so like rash, like it was so fast. And I wasn't sure. I was like, is this what it like feels like to be passionate? Like, I like this, but like, let's see how it goes. But when it wasn't until I was introduced to this that I'm like, I can like confidently say I have a passion for this. And that's why I chose to pursue this full time. Right after graduating, I didn't even go into teaching full time. I remember applying for jobs, and I remember I got like a bunch of calls for interviews, and I didn't respond to any of those calls because I said, I need to pursue this because I'm at the age that I'm at now. I see the passion and the love that I have for this, and I needed to pursue it. And you know what? People probably looked at me and thought, you're absolutely insane. But you know what? A lot of the skills I learned in that is what it actually brought that into this network marketing industry. And it's the same thing with investing in yourself. People think, like at the beginning, I always didn't, I couldn't justify it at the beginning of my journey. It was like, I'm not going to go, spend money on this when my company has this training or whatever. Right. And sometimes it seems like, a crazy amount of money, but eventually what I came to realize was, what my goal is in this industry. If I want to level up, if I want to be at the top, if I want to be, a leader leading, a team that creates impact, what does that look like for me in terms of, a dollar sign at the end of the day? Like, I always make my goal about the process and, how many people I could help, but I know that, the income follows that. If you set the goals of truly wanting to help people, the income and that kind of reward is going to follow that. So I knew that investing in myself, I thought, what do I want to be making a month, every single month, down the road? And if I invest, one month of my pay or whatever in the future, what even is that if I get to, my goal to where I want to be? So investing in myself was actually, I think it was maybe my third 2.5 to 3 years into my network marketing business that I chose to really invest in myself. I paid for one-on-one mentorship. I had intensive one-on-one calls and training and diving deep into exactly, what I wanted to do. And I looked for people too that, they were in the spot that I wanted to be in. And that is when my business exploded. It wasn't when I just, invested, I just stayed and did company trainings. And it was when I really went outside and thought, what is out there that I don't know, right? And what does someone see in my business that I don't see? And at that moment, that's when, in the business, you get to a point where, I didn't really, like, Dracy was my upline. She was still supporting me, but, she went off and did corporate, and I was kind of on my own. I figured a lot of things out. Social media was one of the things that I really thrived with. Being a Gen Z and, coming into the industry as social media was happening and, we had the world shut down for a bit and then it really went intensive with social media. That's when I thrived because I was equipped to teach my team how to thrive online already. So investing in myself in that moment, it was during those moments that it just exploded. So I totally agree. The investing in yourself, I feel like at first, it's hard to justify, but I want you guys to think about what is it that your goal is, a year, 2 years, 3 years from now. And what does that mean if you, invest whatever that amount is, if you could be exactly where you want to be? So I just agree with everything you said, falling in love with the process, investing in yourself. And then I was going to bring up too, because we talked about, we need to be more authentic. We need to just be more real. And I always talk about how I never want to be the coach that sugarcoats anything. I don't want to tell people how easy it is. I don't want to tell people that, they can come in and it's simple and whatever. So that's why Dracy and I, we shape our whole brand about being raw, real, and relevant in everything that we do. So that's what I got on that one.
No, I love that. Authenticity is the key. And we all share this same shared value of the whole personal brand thing and actually showing up as yourself. But it's not easy for everybody. And I completely get that. And I think, that's what we're here to help women to do, is to find that authenticity, because it takes this next level of confidence to step into who you really, really are. To show up completely vulnerably on social media, to put yourself out there. I completely agree with everything you've just said, Teisha. And I actually put, I did a post on Instagram, a reel I put on a couple of days ago, and it's of me just dancing around outside, just like a complete fool. And I was like, it's beautiful. It's January. Everything's white and frosty and gorgeous. And it came to me in the moment. I was like, I'm just going to video myself running around up and down this path in between this field, which is where I go for a walk every morning. And I was like, I don't care, because I want to show people. And this is what I try to get, help people to do, is you've got to be authentic, show your personality. And this comes down to, like, when you're building your brand, you don't have to do all the horrible cold messaging things and all those techniques that sometimes make people quit this industry. When you are building this really strong brand and being yourself, being authentic, you're going to draw people in, and you're going to build those connections. You're going to build those connections with the people that are right for your business. And this is the core for me of what I teach. It's the absolute core of how you build a successful business with quality over quantity. And no matter what industry you're in, whether it's network marketing, coaching, whatever, you have to be authentically you out there. And there are so many different ways that you can do that. I'm sure you agree.
Oh, and it's interesting you say that, because, like we get to a certain age, some of us in our life, and we've done the hard work, we've done all the experience, and you just never arrive. Because now I'm like, yes, I'm confident, I'm fierce, and I had this amazing career, and I, live above average lifestyle. And all of a sudden now I'm having to show my confidence and be brave online. And it actually is very confronting, very confronting to do it all over again. And it tested me on how brave am I really? And I thought, well, if that is my core value and that is my why and my mission is to help women be confident and brave, I got to start being more brave. And so it's only about a year ago that I I used to kind of like, just kind of play and post. And then I started a little bit more posting and then kind of praying. And then now I learned to post with purpose because it's in line now with my core values. Teisha's helped me work out my brand pillars. So now I know what I get to share. And I love sharing so much, but now I've learned how. And Teisha taught me how. And the best way I learn is by teaching others. So everything I've learned, I've been able to transform and teach that. Hence why it was so important for us to put our social media MVP course together, because that's exactly, it's translating me as almost a baby boomer here, going online when I really don't need to be. I don't really want to be, but I want to teach people how to be brave. So I have to do it. I got to do it. So I had to say, okay, how am I going to love this? And for me, loving this is by leading by example. And I think our leaders out there need to show the way by stepping up, being real online, and letting people see the transformation of them being themselves and the transformation of being bad before they're good and good before they're great. I think people love that more than ever. And so Teisha's helped me with that. Helen, we love what we're seeing with what you're sharing. And I also like so many common threads, but I did see something that we're polar opposites in. But yes. And I love it because it just shows that your way still works and my way still works. I'm huge on affirmations. I'm huge on vision board. I'm huge on creative visualization because I know that's what's worked for me. And I love that because it allows me to put intention into what I'm doing. And it reminds me of why I'm doing it. But that's how I've operated. But it doesn't necessarily work. But Teisha, in her one, you've said that's not really how you really think, or like you see it. But I know to Helen, you said you just don't even go that way. You just work, you focus on falling on your face, getting back up and pushing yourself through. And it works for you. And I love it. And I really love it that we can both have a same message, but a different message, but still work.
Yeah, I think you're so right. It's not that I don't think affirmations are and that kind of thing and manifesting and all those things are wrong. But what I have experienced in the past is when leaders put that above taking action. And, people start to think, oh, that's all I need to do. I need to sit and do my miracle morning with my meditation and my affirmations and my journaling. And then that's magically going to bring success to me. And I just feel like often the messaging is wrong, that no, this is the tiny part. And I absolutely believe in a positive way of thinking, not false positivity, but positivity. I always try and see the glass half full, if not full, in any situation, because it's that, and that is what affirmations do. It's just grounding that positivity and those nice positive things that you want to tell yourself. And if that is what you need, amazing. But you have to do what you like. I completely agree. You have to do what's right for you. But having that positive outlook is what is going to drive you forward. Finding the joy in what you do is what is going to drive you forward. And it's all about that. And I love what you're saying about your finding your confidence. I'm 40, nearly 47, and it's only, if you'd seen me 4 years ago when I started network marketing, I was the shyest person in the world, couldn't stand up in front of a room, even my own living room with 4 people in it and tell them why I was doing this business. Let alone now I'm training in front of hundreds of people on podcasts, listened to by thousands of people. I can't actually believe it. And I didn't know what I wanted to do then either. So you can come to this and you can find your confidence, at any point in your life. And I do think that entrepreneur lifestyle and being a businesswoman and network marketing is an amazing way to bring people to that point. And all of us here have found what we truly love doing. And we've said this, one of you, I think it was you, Dracy, said this before. It is about your passion. It's finding what lights you up. And when you find that, when you find what gets you out of bed in the morning and like, this is what I want, I cannot wait to go onto social media. I have content coming out of my everywhere. It's like lists of stuff I cannot wait to share. That is when you're in that flow. That is when you are sharing that authentic you. And that's when you don't care and you're like, no, I just have this stuff to say. And that is when you really, really grow and you have success, because you are showing up, and you really, this is the magic. It's finding that passion and it's showing up as yourself with that purpose behind it. And that's when success happens. But it does take time. It takes confidence, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. And it reminds me of how I feel like there's this love-hate relationship with the fact that there are so many different routes to success. Because in one hand, I think it's cool how so many people you can have different beliefs, you could have a different route, you could have, just a different way of finding that and achieving that success in this industry. And I think that's cool, because it means, you shouldn't compare yourself to people, because your journey is going to look a lot different than them. But then there's this hate relationship with it, because if we just knew the exact path to get there, how great would that be? Right? But
where's the fun in that? Where's the fun in that? There are shortcuts you can
exactly.
take, sure, but yeah,
it's like we're not. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's not a cookie cutter approach, but people, it's like they want that magic wand to just do it, right? But we don't have that. So we have to take that different approach. And that's why the branding aspect is so important, because you want to think about how there's millions of people doing the exact same thing as you. Me and Dracy, we're essentially serving a very similar, if not the exact same audience. But we have such different beliefs. We have such different ways of looking at things. And so that's what's cool about it, is how you're going to show up and stand out online, right? You can think about all the reasons that you're the same, and that, I have this product and I'm with this company, but so are millions of other, or thousands or millions of other people. So what makes you you? And I think in today's world, with so much, social media being involved, it's like, we turn into these robots where we feel we have to say exactly what someone wants to hear. And we're scared to give our, actual opinion, because we want to make sure we're speaking to everybody. But if you're speaking to absolutely everybody, you're really just speaking to nobody. And that's why at the end of the day, it's like, just be yourself, just be your authentic self, because whether you choose to be yourself or you choose to be someone else, someone out there isn't going to like what you're doing. So you might as well keep it easy, keep it fun, and just, be you. And that's my message, is like, I feel like we need to stop, thinking that people need or want to hear something specific. Just say what you believe. Everything that you share should be in line with your values. We talk about, Dracy and I, we actually have this whole acronym with the word MVP. We talk about being an MVP in your business. And we talk about having a mission, having a vision, and having a purpose, or your passion. And that's what your differentiator is. That's what helps you stand out online. And that's what I think a lot of people are lacking and need to step into for this new network marketing, to really like shine online and just, shine in this industry.
Yeah, you're so right. There are, it's so true. There are 10.5 million full-time network marketers, 54 million doing it anyway. 54 million people with their hands in a network marketing business is incredible. And you are completely competing against everybody else doing something similar. Avon has the kind of highest number of distributors. They've got 6.5 million distributors. So how on earth is anyone going to find you on social media if you're just posting products? And I talk about this all the time. I did a masterclass last night, and I am so passionate about this, because you cannot post about products and ask for people, or expect people to find your social media page and then want to hit follow, when all you're doing is asking to take. You have to be finding what you want to talk about, and then give tons and tons and tons of value. Help people, help your audience. And then of course they're going to hit follow. And this doesn't have to have anything to do with your products whatsoever, because the big pivot is when you turn your social media page from a place of selling to a place where you're giving value, and a place where you are about to create connections. That's what it's all about. You cannot use your social media page as a place for selling. Selling your stories, sell for sure in your highlights, but the feed, the content you put out has to be value-led, has to be bringing people in and then creating those connections, starting those conversations. And that's how you find your people, and that's how you grow your business. You know, I love this quote, Rory Vaden. I don't know whether you've ever followed him. I'm sure you do, but his message about branding, he says that branding is basically just the digitization of your reputation. And I absolutely love that. Like the digitization of your reputation. It's just about who do you serve, who are you, and putting that out there on social media and using that for purpose to serve people. And that is how you're going to make those really strong connections. So yeah, you have to stand out. No one is ever going to find you if you are just posting products. It's so boring as well. Like, who wants to see just the same Canva graphics of this month's latest promotion or free products or anything like that? No one wants to see that. It's just a sales catalog, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Well, when Teisha helped me identify what my brand pillars are, that was a huge game changer, and worked on, my magic message and, how I serve. And I think those brand pillars really helped me with the essence of our business. And this is what I really believe is our essence, how we connect our head, our heart, and how we labor to the world in being of service. And so what is the experience you want your people to have? What is the environment you are creating? And what kind of energy are you giving? And if you can create the essence in you and your personal brand, that is how you're going to create the community. That's how you're going to be able to make these connections and love your people and love on them even more together. So it's been so awesome doing this together, you guys. We must do this again. I think it's fantastic. But Helen, I just really want to say thank you so much. I've just gotten so many nuggets from you. I'm going to be following you. How can our people follow you?
Okay, so best place to follow me is either in my Facebook community, which is the Millionaire Mindset Women group. That is where I give tons and tons of value. So if you want loads of free stuff to really kind of up-level your business, learn about personal branding, sales, and all those kind of things, absolutely find me there, or come and say hi on Instagram at Helen Thacker, and I love to chat. So please drop me a DM and come and say hello and ask me all the questions that you have.
Wow. Well, thank you.
How about you guys? Would you like to drop in where people can find you as well? I think that's really important too.
Sure. So, you could find us. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and we're at the Unwrapped Leader. We also have our Gifted Leaders community over on Facebook. And we actually just kicked off a book club in there this month. And so we're actually reviewing every single chapter. We're only on chapter 2 tomorrow. So we're going through that every single week. We're doing some fun stuff in there. We're giving, value in our community over on there. That's kind of where we're at. Dracy, is there anything I missed?
No, I think the big thing is the Gifted Leaders community and the Millionaire Mindset community. Did I say it right? Millionaire Mindset?
Millionaire Mindset Women Facebook group. Yeah.
Brilliant.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Helen.
Wow, what a magic episode. I just think Helen is so gorgeous, and we just had so much fun unwrapping her gifts and what she has to offer and be of service to you. I just have to say the takeaways I've absolutely gotten out of there is that emphasizing being the authentic you, and as well as just talking about the integrity and lifting this industry, because this industry has so many gifts. And so just people like Helen being able to share and be of value and doing that just really proves that we have so many great things to be proud of, and really sharing your passion and investing in yourself. I just really want to highlight, I know that every time I've had the opportunity to have my coach be accountable to is when I've lifted myself up to the next level. And so Helen does such a fantastic job on sharing about her value and what she can bring to you. So just really talking about your future, as we talk about the things that we fiercely want to protect and the things that matter, well, our future matters. And if you don't think you have a future in this business showing up and sharing online, well, as you see, we do. And so we just really want to thank you for joining us. Please, if you've got some nuggets, share your biggest takeaways in the comments, and please share with your teams if you really want to inspire the future, the integrity that this business has to offer. And most importantly, subscribe, and we will see you next week.